So what the bleep are these passive income businesses and how do we create them? Now we know that businesses are the third asset group that you want to be stocking in your asset pots, in your wealth drawer, together with equities and investment properties. So let's get really clear about what specifically we're talking about here, specifically the word passive businesses. Simply put, we're talking about something through which you can generate both income and valued capital growth through things other than you earning income based on your direct time. Now, most salaried employees earn money by trading their time for income, with the implied agreement that during that time they will add value to the company paying them for that time. Many self-employed people in any form of service-based industry do exactly the same thing. Although they may believe they have a business asset, they actually don't, because often their income is still based on some form of time-income trade-off. And if they aren't working, they aren't earning. Therefore, without them in the equation, the business has no value. So the businesses you want to be looking to create or buy are those that earn income through other mechanisms that deliver value without you having to be directly involved in that immediate value exchange. So these other mechanisms could be thought of as sub-assets, and how well you manage these assets and leverage them determines your return. So here's the rub. Just like your money, these things need to be managed by you and given direction and leadership. It is up to you to leverage them, and how well you're able to magnify the value they deliver determines the income and the capital growth that you receive, and your wealth pot expands. Now, these sub-asset groups include other people's time, other people's money, other people's creativity, other people's businesses and products, and also products and services that are created by you. Now, the levers that you have to magnify that value also include other people's time, other people's money, also online and offline distribution systems, and then systems and processes that deliver the value for and on your behalf. So to create successful business assets, you must keep the key principle of value leverage clearly in your mind and keep focusing on how you can remove yourself from that immediate value exchange. So look at these principles. You'll also realize that both your equity investment portfolio and your investment property portfolios in your asset pot are in fact passive income businesses. Yep, you've already created some businesses by putting those in place. With your equity portfolio, you're buying businesses which create value from which you get a share and a return from that value in exchange in the capital growth and income without you having to actually work and be present in those businesses. With your investment property portfolio, you have physical property delivering value for you, and in return you get a return. Now view your asset drawer as one big holding company with different businesses within it, and think of yourself as the managing director of those businesses, providing leadership and direction to each business, constantly looking at how you can add more value, how you can leverage that to bring you great returns. Also allow your holding company to have multiple businesses, some being the bigger businesses that bring your primary source of wealth and income through, which you give more of your focus to, but also little business streams, bringing you a nice steady flow of income. So let's look at this in a diagrammatic form. We've already said your life is your business. So when you think of your asset pot, go, My Life Inc. in this key area of bringing money and wealth and revenue and finance into your life. So under here you might have already the key asset, one asset called you. And that asset called you is bringing you income, which, as you know, in turn goes to pay for some expenses, but a key part of that income comes into your asset pot and gets invested into another one of your businesses. And in this case, it might be your property. So this is another business within this My Life Inc., the holding company. And these properties also come and earn you income, which you know now it's really important that you reinvest that income back into your asset pot to create more assets, more businesses. So another business you have is your equity portfolio. and that is your equity investing business. So when you really think of each of these as a business, you start seeing how it forms. And now you start adding, either creating or buying additional businesses. So possibly you have an online marketing business. Possibly it's you selling information products or services in that way. So you have online niche one. Whoops. And that you create and expand and leverage from by using online marketing systems, by using automated processes and systems, delivering massive value to a lot of people. And this also brings you income, which again may go to serve some of your expenses, but again, it's reinvested either in that business or another business. You might have other real world kind of physical businesses that you create that can create passive income. So these could be things like a car wash. Maybe it's a laundromat. Maybe it's a series of restaurant chains, maybe that you buy into a franchise or you create a franchise. So you end up with these multiple businesses all bringing you cash flow and expanding your wealth. Each of them grows in terms of value and in terms of income generating. And when you add these all up together in your asset pot, they together are growing to increase your net worth so that you can get to that point where the value of all of them combined and the income they can provide can meet your expenses without you having to work. Remember, that is our aim. Now, the key thing with all of these businesses is about you set them up front once, you create that value, and then you are overseeing it. It is really important to understand that you still need to manage these businesses, but you are leveraging the value, you're leveraging the return in terms of income and growth you get through other people's time, through systems, through processes, through physical automated things like a car wash that can run without people involved, or in, say, a restaurant by other lower cost employees that can run that for you. This is the key principle, and this is the fundamental of these kind of businesses as opposed to a business which still involves you having to earn that income actively, because that is still you, even if you might be delivering it through a business entity. So let's look at an example. Shaquille O'Neal was, when he was drafted into the NBA, he spent the first million he earned within 30 minutes. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Money in, money out. You know, Shaquille was a big break even and had no clue about turning some of what he earned into these assets. But O'Neal was really blessed because he received a phone call from a wise man who told him that he would end up joining the list of former athletes, musicians, celebrities, and actually just common people who end up broke despite earning a load of money if he just continued with the same pattern. And Neil was also smart because he chose to do something about it, and he chose to learn, and he chose to break that break-even pattern and really learn about money and how to create businesses. So he went to college and he got a bachelor's degree, an MBA, he even got a doctorate in education. Yeah, he's Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. But more importantly, he learned how to convert the money he earned into creating assets, which kept feeding him and fueling his wealth pots. Today, Shaq is the joint owner of 155 Guy Burger restaurants, 17 Auntie Annie's Presto restaurants, 150 car washes, 40 24-hour fitness centers, a shopping center, a movie theater, and several Las Vegas nightclubs. So thanks to his passive income businesses and his income stream, he earns $22 million a year. That's roughly $423,000 a week on top of his endorsements and his active income businesses. You see, Shaq is looking after Shaq's Life Inc. and making sure he has these passive businesses that he created from his passive income. So when you see it like this, when you realize that there's no such thing as a completely passive business, only smartly leveraged businesses and a wealth pot being served by multiple income streams filling it up. So from here on, we're going to use the word passive income streams rather than passive businesses, as the goal is not to spend no time on your business, but rather to aim for your time being more and more leveraged so that for each hour you put in, you get greater and greater returns.